Cluster 5, Thinking on Your Own.
Cluster 5 is about how to spot and prevent any future genocides. It also tells us about previous genocides.
In me and Emma's text, it talks about preventing another major crisis like the Holocaust from happening again. I'll now read Open Letter to World Leaders. We are survivors of the genocides that have forever stained our nations, torn apart our communities and families, and lacerated our souls. We call upon you, our leaders, to direct your highest purpose toward ending forever the agonies of mass atrocity crimes. We approach you on behalf of our beloved dead, and their millions of voices, brutally in violence, are muting the voices of our sisters and brothers in places like Darfur, Somalia, Burma, and Congo, yet we can hear their pleas for protection, and we must speak for them too. We speak for the world's children and for the generations yet to come. For unless we take responsible action now, they too, in countless numbers, will pay the ultimate price. 60 years ago, on December 9, 1984, the world, through the United Nations, committed itself to prevent and punish the crime of genocide. In 2005, this obligation was unanimously reaffirmed by the international community in the World Summit Outcome document, which states that when the nations manifestly fail to protect their populations, we, as an international community, are prepared to take collective action. These words and our responsibilities could not be clearer, yet over and over again we have witnessed the tragic failures of the international community to protect its most vulnerable population.
The word stained in the sentence. We are survivors of the genocides that have forever stained our nations, torn apart our communities and families.
Oh, hi guys. Okay.
It really helped me understand how bad this event was and how much it really impacted the people.
So I was wondering, in the 5th paragraph, what does it mean when it says that the words and responsibilities could not be clearer?
I think it's saying that we need to take action, and it's very obvious that we need to do.
So basically, if the world leaders help spot and prevent future genocides, it can definitely help save many lives.
I'm now going to read part of More Than Once Required. The recent tragedies in Darfur, Rwanda, Cambodia, and Bosnia all bear witnesses to the international community's failure to prevent systematic mass atrocity crimes. And yet, in the lead-up to each of these crimes, the warning signs were clear. Going forward, the international community must heed such early warning signs and be prepared to act quickly and effectively when the indications show the potential for systematic crimes. There requires that international leaders adopt a new framework, one focused on prevention. A prevention framework should have two central components: an early warning system to signal the escalation of the most serious human rights abuses against civilians based on characteristics on their identity such as race, ethnic, tribal affiliation, or religion. Well-coordinated and active diplomacy in the earliest stages of a brewing crisis, undertaken with the intention of averting an escalation of violence.
What do you think is the best method to predict future genocides from happening?
I think that we kind of know when and where they're going to happen. We just need to act when we think they're going to happen.
How does escalation help us understand what they're trying to say?
It's saying that we need to prevent future genocides before they go too bad.
I think that we have a proper system of locating genocides, but we still don't act fast enough.
I agree.
I think that to prevent mass killing, the world leaders need to forecast when and where such events may occur. The leaders also need to act really fast upon it so they can save those lives.
I read the timeline and it described different genocides in the 20th and 21st centuries. Armenia. Ottoman authorities massacred 1.5 million Armenians. Holocaust. Nazis killed 6 million Jews. Risk factors and other early warning signs. Just as there are risk factors for illness, for instance, obesity is a risk factor for heart disease. There are indicators of the human rights abuses that can lead to systematic mass atrocity crimes. With the caveat.
What do you think is the most harmful genocide?
I think it was the Holocaust because there was about 6 million people who died.
Do you think there is anything else in today's world?
A genocide is occurring because of a group of ISIS.
Basically, this timeline helps us understand the pain and suffering that the people in these events went through.
I read Genocides in Bosnia, which was mainly about the survivors of the Holocaust telling their stories and how it related to the genocides in Bosnia. At roll calls, the soldiers shot every 20th person. One time, Weizmann was number 18. Another time, he was number 21. At another camp, he was ordered to dig his own grave. He did, but before he was shot, his work foreman intervened. When ordered to Buchenwald gas chambers in Group 25, Weizmann and a friend lagged behind him. When they were out of the perimeter and observation of the tower spotlight, they hit the ground and crawled to safety. Sally Ann Morris Wolfe of West Des Moines kept their past from their children as long as they could. She lost her entire family. He lost everyone, including his first wife and a child, except for one brother. They didn't tell the children until the children started to ask why they didn't have grandparents. Even as adults, son Abe says he and his two brothers have heard little about the war. He finds that the scenes from the Bosnian eerie. They look like Nazi concentration camps, but he does not worry about his parents seeing them. Obviously, they are survivors, he says. They are the strongest people in the world.
How do the survivors relate to the genocide in Bosnia?
The survivors of the Holocaust know that the Bosnian survivors collaborated with the Nazis.
Do you think that Holocaust was as bad as the Bosnian genocide?
The Holocaust was way worse because there was only 100,000 deaths compared to the Holocaust, which was 6 million.
I believe the Bosnian genocide is just as bad as the Holocaust, even though there was way less deaths.
I think that to truly honor everybody who's died in genocides, we need to make sure that future genocides don't happen at all.